This is Sessions with Sara Cate and Ashley, a podcast that explores the feelings, emotions, and experiences of what it means to be human in this world. This podcast is intended for educational purposes only and is not meant to replace therapeutic services of any kind. Please refer to the list of references if you need support.
And before you dive in, please like, subscribe, comment, share with anyone you think might also connect with today's session. Our goal is to reach as many people as possible, and we are endlessly grateful for your continued support. So, let's get to it.
Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to season 4.
Season 4.
Season 4.
Oh, there she goes.
Of Sessions with Sara Cate and Ashley. I am, in fact, Sara Cate.
And I'm Ashley.
And we are back with
We're
each
back.
other and all our dear, wonderful, incredible, amazing follower alongers who have either been deeply anticipating this or curious where the hell we have been.
Yeah. So where have we been?
Where, Ashley, have we been?
Yowza. The thing is, sometimes I'm not sure where I am or where I
Somewhere
have
in the
been.
ether. Somewhere in the ether, we are both existing, yet no one's landing.
It's been a wild, and I think I speak for like both of us when I say like a wild and beautiful ride the last however many months since we spoke to you last. I think since January. Not really sure, but anyways, I've got a whole baby that is 6 months old
She has
now.
a whole human.
I have a whole person that I'm responsible for, other than myself. And Sara Cate has this beautiful business that, oh, see, every time I talk about it, I get chills, Sara Cate. So, and I just did again, saying it out loud.
I'm gonna hold that energy.
Okay.
It gives me motivation and drive, Ashley, from your goosebumps to the cosmos.
And so, business and babies, and what do they have
Business
in
baby.
common? Business
Yeah.
and babies. So, gosh, you know, as always, it's the goal Sara Cate and I always have is, well, to help you feel supported, to be a resource that you don't have to like search out and pay hundreds of dollars for, to offer different perspectives for how you think about yourself. But to have conversations also that like a lot of people don't have conversations about. And so with all of that, having this conversation of what is it like to be in a female body and have a baby while still trying to grow a career and be in a career, and choosing and knowing that having a baby isn't what you want for your life, and having this business and what that is like to be experiencing that as a human, yes, but like in a female body, there's just so many things that come with that. And the million different directions you can feel pulled, and the million different reasons you can feel guilt or anxiety and fear that come with all of it. So that's what we're chatting about.
Yeah.
And yeah,
All the layers.
so many layers.
Yeah, I think in coming back to this, Ashley and I have always talked about like how everything had to be just kind of in alignment for us to continue to do it, what conversations we had, what topics we had. And I think even at the end of our last season, we were both burning out in different ways. And we
Hmm.
really we hadn't entered into these next chapters fully. And so
Yep.
I find it so interesting that like it was almost like we had to slow down, even with the podcast and the other things that we were doing, because there was so much coming for us. And
Hmm.
that even sitting here today, now in my fully formed brick and mortar office of this new business that I've co-founded, like it really is wild. And Ashley's baby is in her space. Like to come back together with these things now fully formed and actually happening,
Mhm.
very much alive for us.
Yeah.
To be able to kind of meet it with these eyes. Like I think we thought about coming back sooner, and I think it would have
Mhm.
been soon. Like we didn't have
Yeah.
the information
Yeah.
to share again yet
Yeah.
about our own process with this thing.
Mhm.
And I think
Mhm.
Ashley and I, to some degree, I think we reflect a huge majority of women out there who are women in entrepreneurial spaces, women who are building their own careers, women who are choosing to have children on top of having their own career. Like, we kind of hit the mark on a lot of different things. And so I think really for us, it was deepening into our own understanding of what happened before before
Mhm.
we could speak about it, from this place. Because I could have talked, we could have talked about it when Ashley was pregnant, which we had shared, but like we could have talked, and I didn't, I've been sitting on this idea for 10 years. And then it just blasted into the universe. And so like we could have talked about it, but I don't think we would have
Yeah.
the reflections that we probably will have
Mhm.
today around this topic.
Yeah. Yeah, I think because I thought about it, I was like, okay, literally when she was 2 months old, I was like, wow, okay, what do I want to do? Right.
Hmm.
Like I was not feeling I still don't feel back to quote normal, whatever that means. But I was feeling like, okay, maybe I want to do something for myself, but I, I just want to hug that version of me
Hmm.
because, sweetheart, you needed to sit yourself down.
You need to take a nap.
I needed to have a snack and take a nap.
You literally.
Um, Yeah, and it's been so interesting for me because I had to fight and still fight with myself about it's I don't abandonment is like the only word that comes to mind. I feel like I had to abandon my career and
Yeah.
everything that I was doing in my professional life to have a baby. And then coming back from it, I feel like I've had to figure out how not to feel like I'm abandoning my baby, but also not abandoning myself
Hmm.
for moving towards the things that fill me up because I know and I will fight for anybody who like wants to fill themselves up so that they can be a better mom or sister or wife or whatever the situation is. But it was really interesting. I didn't expect to have to fight so hard against myself for that because I really just felt like regardless of which direction I went, it wasn't enough.
Hmm.
And we hear so often, well, I guess in the world that I'm in and the things that I see with my clients is we hear so often that you actually can't have it all. Like you can't be the kind of mother you want to be while having the kind of career you want, while having or while showing up in your relationship or relationships, friendship, romantic, whatever that you
Hmm.
want. You actually cannot do all of that. And that's been one of the biggest reflections of me. And to be honest, one of the things that has come from this is it's a growing internal rage, if there wasn't one already, against the systems that are at play in our universe, because I actually do think that you can have it all. I think that the unfortunate part is we are still smack dab in the middle of systems that do not support just women as a whole.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
a lot of this could be very simply taken care of if people just cared.
Hmm.
Um, and I that it literally it just like burns inside of me that I'm so pissed off that so many people have to choose between the two simply because simple things are not provided because of the bodies that we're in.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, to your point, right? It's like you can't fully, maybe we feel like we can't fully step into these roles and give ourselves over to them or fully enjoy them or feel committed in a way we want to them because there's all these other extraneous um responsibilities and obligations and lack of access
Hmm.
to resource
Right.
for us to maintain these things, and thinking about childcare costs and thinking about all of these things of like really women having to consistently over and over sacrifice parts or
Hmm.
pieces of themselves for
Hmm.
something else or to something else, and working
Hmm.
predominantly with women. I work with so many mothers, and that is a common theme, right? There's this rage or anger or frustration or deep sadness in some cases around the fact that like they've never fully felt in their life because they haven't had what they needed to be able to do so. Now, do they love their life? Yes. Do they try to show up as best they can to their children and their partners or themselves or, their jobs or whatever it might be? Yes. But there still is something that feels like not fully formed for them
Hmm.
in their own
Hmm.
world because
Yeah.
it's like constantly having to give to all of these things, but I
Hmm.
never actually get to be a part of it because I
Right.
at some point don't have what I need.
Yep. Yeah. And it's sad. It's just
Mhm.
really sad because I, if I had becoming a mother, I think, okay, let me back up. I have always felt like people who mother and people who have the intention of mothering well, right? Like nobody's going to be perfect, but I think that certain people have intentions of mothering well and certain people unfortunately don't, they're missing something themselves, you know?
Mhm.
And it's and that's not and that's their own thing. But that they, I mean, we should be like laying out a red carpet for everywhere these friggin' people walk, right?
Mhm.
Because without mothers who have the intention of mothering well, our world would crumble.
Mhm.
There would be nothing. There would literally be nothing left. And I feel that like so much more passionately now, like being through this process and being on the other side.
Mhm.
Um, and I don't know, I don't know what is in store for me in my career or like me and how I'm gonna like what you said, like participate in childcare. Like I don't know what that is gonna be for me, but I do have still that like underlying like drive to always make sure that I'm taking care of myself, that I'm
Mhm.
listening to myself. And the biggest challenge has been figuring out that voice gets like hidden a lot or talked over maybe by some of my anxieties about something else that's happening or my fears or my like sense of urgency when it comes to certain areas of my life. But that's been the biggest challenge is being like, okay, no, 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 no. Those other parts that are talking to you, like let them talk, but we don't have to listen to them.
Mhm.
And I will forever be, grateful for the people that I can have conversations with that understand and that don't help me further bury that voice, but that
Mhm.
help me peel back the layers to see what's actually there. And then, who knows how I'll move forward. But as long as I'm with myself, I think that's the ultimate goal.
Total. Well, and like you being with yourself is what helps you mother well, right?
Yeah.
Like that's something have the conversation I have so often with women. I'm like, if you know what you need, and
Hmm.
maybe you can't access it immediately, but if you know what you are going to need or
Hmm.
what you actually do in fact need, then you're going to be able at some juncture to get that, fulfill that need, advocate for it,
Hmm.
figure it out, access that. But all along the way, being able to better support your kids. Because if you are
Hmm.
resourced, if you have to some degree the majority of what you need, who of us is really
Hmm.
fully resourced? I don't know. Um, but if you have more of ground underneath you, then
Hmm.
you can hold your children steadily,
Yeah.
right? But it's so
Yeah.
often we're taught and we're programmed as women to just overserve and overgive and
Hmm.
overpour and then feel depleted and resentful or spiteful or sad. And how are we then showing up in the spaces that we're in when that's kind of our baseline emotional experience? Probably
Mhm.
not well. And like again, to your point, Ashley, we get to be angry because the system is not set up. The fact that women have
Mhm.
to go back to work so quickly, and that we, sacrifice the attachment of our own children and the health of our own children for what we have to do to survive in this world is absurd.
Mhm.
And so I think that we also have to also give permission for that to be explored, either, in our car rage screaming to Alanis Morissette, or like being able to, talk to another friend who's in a similar situation, or to talk to a therapist or whatever it might be, right? But to
Mhm.
seek out spaces and community, to Ashley's point, that reflect that, like, you cannot dismiss yourself,
Mhm.
right? Like, you cannot pretend that you don't exist, because it is going to ruin the rest of the spaces that you are participating in. And
Yeah.
and that's not to shame ourselves more. That's not to add another goddamn thing to our list that we already have on,
Mhm.
racking up on a day-to-day basis, but it's to be able to be like, okay, am I also going to get myself that thing? All right? Like, here's
Mhm.
the list and I'm on it.
Yeah. And I'm not at the bottom.
I'm not at the bottom, And
Mhm.
I think, and it's hard. I mean, it's because when we are doing these things, and we're going to have another conversation about this next time, but when we're doing these things, there's this guilt or this shame that like other things are falling off the plate, right? Like, how dare I
Mhm.
put myself on the plate when other things are falling off? And other
Mhm.
relationships might be, in that, or the way that I showed up to that project or whatever it might be,
Mhm.
right? Is not the way I want to be. And so we have to we have to combat also that, right? It's like, we have to work with our guilt enough to keep ourselves on that list
Mhm.
no matter what. And like, I
Yeah.
am taking my medicine as I am saying this, right? Like, this is not something I have perfected
Mhm.
in any regard. Like,
Mhm.
I am aware that, like,
Yeah.
listening to my body requires an extreme amount of effort. And
Mhm.
what my baseline experience has as of late then is anxiety, 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 anxiety. And that ain't fun to like
Yeah.
hang out with and spend my days just like, oh, what do you have to say to me today, darling
Mhm.
anxiety? I'm not looking forward
Yeah.
to it. But
Yeah.
I'm right. Like, I'm just
Mhm.
keep saying I'm feeling anxiety. This is where I'm at today. This is what
Mhm.
I feel, right? Like, and it doesn't have to be much of a conversation past that. And sometimes just normalizing and naming, I'm feeling guilt about this thing. I'm feeling shame about this
Yeah.
thing. It allows us to acknowledge it and kind of say, okay, yes, I am. And for me, for
Mhm.
instance, it's like, oh my God, okay, we've got to get this, and we have these numbers and these data points and these things to make sure that we're viable, and we continue to hold the container we want to hold with this business. I'm anxious about that. And when I
Mhm.
when I give myself permission to say that, it's like, yeah, because you have
Mhm.
an office you're renting, and you have therapists you're supervising, and you have clients you're still seeing. Wow, yes, you would have anxiety
Mhm.
around that. That's pressure. Pressure gives us
Mhm.
anxiety, right? Great. And so
Yeah.
now I can be like, okay, oh, I am feeling anxiety. That is, what do I know helps my anxiety?
Mhm.
Checking something off my list always helps my anxiety. One thing, even if it's like, get a cup of water.
Yeah.
Zhoop.
Yeah.
Scratching something off scratches that itch for me. And it's amazing how, when I give my self permission to see that thing,
Mhm.
I can then do one thing that I might need, and it changes it.
Yeah.
Doesn't
My
mean my anxiety's not there.
For sure. My partner was with Ari. I don't know where I was. But I came home and this poor man was just trying to go to the bathroom, right? And she was screaming. I mean, I could hear her in the hall. She was screaming and I was like, oh. And so I
Really
walk in
going
and
down.
they're like in the bedroom and I hear him as he's like going to the bathroom. He's like, I hear you, honey, and I see you, and I will be right there. And I was like, this is the best thing ever. And then he said it again. She was still crying. He was like, I hear you, honey, and I see you, and I will hold you in just 1 second. And she was like in her little like bouncy seat thing, so she was like fine, safe,
Okay.
everybody don't
Yeah.
freak out. Um, but
He's
like
just hanging out on the patio.
he was like he just had to go to the bathroom, you know?
Yeah.
But it's been kind of like this joke between ourselves now. Like I hear you and I see you.
Yeah, when we start to have our adult meltdowns. Okay.
And and so it's become this thing that I will like
Yeah.
literally look at myself in the mirror and be like, I hear you and I see you.
Yeah.
And this is
Yeah.
what we're gonna do. We're gonna get in the shower. The shower
Yeah.
always helps me, man. The shower is my
Yeah.
magic place.
Yeah.
Like, or we're gonna get a snack, whatever it
Right.
is, right?
Yeah.
Like, but so maybe that helps. You can tell yourself, I hear
I hear
you
you and
and
I
I
see
see
you.
you.
It's so real because that's exactly
It
what I'm doing with
is.
my anxiety. I'm like,
Yep.
okay, there
Yep.
you are, right? I'm not
Hmm.
denying this. I'm not trying to be like power of positive thinking my way out of it. I'm just
Yeah.
like, this is what this is because of what's happening. I'm not
Hmm.
gaslighting myself,
Right.
right? And then I can be like, okay, get in the shower, Sarah.
Yep.
Go for a walk, Sarah.
Hmm.
Pull a chair apart, Sarah.
Yep.
Like do something, right? That you know is going to help bring insight. Talk to somebody. Let Ashley
Yeah.
tell Ashley about your business and have her get goosebumps, Sarah. Like it just those things help so
Yeah.
much, and
Yeah.
I think Ashley and I at this moment of our lives are in this incredibly beautiful juxtaposition of like, the immense beauty and gift creating a human is and the immense beauty and gift that building your own businesses when that feels like your true passion and next thing, and
Hmm.
this was Ashley's true passion and next thing, and like how we're holding those
Hmm.
we're into similar things but very differently,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
being able to kind of like witness each other in that, and like, we had a check-in I think early on with you post, and I was like, like, yep, you got to remember to consider yourself and like those things. And she did the exact same thing. She's like, you got to remember to listen to yourself when I was like doubting something, right? Like we had those check-ins and it was
Hmm.
like similar yet different. And like being able to hold each other as women in two drastically different scenarios, but,
Hmm.
but acknowledging the parts that are so heavy and that are dragging us down.
Well, yeah, and it's the outside forces are so similar.
Yeah.
They're so similar. I mean, completely different lives we're living, right? But the the systems that be
Yeah.
make us feel the same way, right?
Hmm.
And I think what comes with the rage of not being supported as somebody who I'm not even going to say like is has a career and has a baby, because it's like true if somebody just has a baby, but that's not
Yeah.
like, or is just moving through career or is doing
Yep.
both. It's it's the it's the rage of wanting so much more for
Mhm.
the people around you that like I can't help but get so upset about it, because I don't what Sarah Kate is like quite literally like birthing into the world is how everybody I feel like deserves to be taken care of, right?
Mhm.
And it's not any less important than somebody who decides that like their primary goal that or role that they want to play is a mother, right?
Mhm.
Like there's so equally of value to this world, but people don't acknowledge that
Mhm. Mhm.
as they should, I feel like
Well,
sometimes. And
it's the uniqueness of it, right? Like
yeah.
we use it, like we're taught, especially as women with each other, to use it as like currency. Like who's doing more,
Hmm.
who's doing what better?
Hmm.
Oh, you're just the mother. Oh, you're not having children.
Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
there's just all of these. Oh, you're never gonna know the gift, right? Like on both sides,
Hmm.
and like we're positioned against each other rather
Yeah.
than being like, oh my God, I see you so brilliantly in the choice you're making
Hmm.
and vice versa. And we get to hold each other
Hmm.
up in that.
Hmm. Yeah. And just like, doesn't that feel so good?
Yes.
Here we are. I feel like I'm always like, can't we all just get along?
And it is, it's like, it's finding, I would never, because I would never say to one of my mom friends, wow, like opening this business was like giving birth. I wouldn't use that language because to me, I have never given birth. I can't use that language
Yeah.
effectively, right? Like I don't know it, so I don't own it in that way in my own system. But what I can say is I have given every second of every day to this
Mhm.
thing. I have thought about this thing every second of every
Mhm.
day for the last however long since we opened, like even started thinking about opening this. And it has consumed me
Mhm.
in a way that I can imagine a mother becoming a
Yeah.
mother feels like too,
Yeah.
right? So there are we can't look at the like
No.
logistical factors of what
Yeah.
makes something similar. You know, we have to look
Exactly.
at like the way that it does. And I would never
Yeah.
say, and I would never want to diminish because I have such a deep reverence for women and mothers specifically. Like, I think even opening this business made me have, because if this is a fraction of what a mother does, like, holy shit, right? Like, I already had deep respect, but like, it went to another level because it
Mhm.
also challenged me in ways that I
Yeah.
am outside of my comfort zone constantly. And I'm constantly being pushed and I'm constantly being scrutinized. And it's all of these things. And so,
Mhm.
we as women coming together around these felt experiences, right? Being able
Mhm.
to say, I see you and I hear you. I might not understand because I haven't walked
Right.
through it, but I see you and I
Yeah.
hear you. And I
Well,
know
but
that what is hard is hard.
yes, and I think sometimes we can so I just had a friend say to me at I don't know when, sometime within the last week maybe.
What is time?
She yeah, she said something about she like hasn't been sleeping well. I don't remember her exact words, but something along the lines of like, but I can't say anything about like lack of sleep because you have a baby or something about or like sleep deprivation. Like I don't know what that's
Yeah.
like. But like, okay, sleep deprivation fucking sucks, regardless of the reason why you have it, right? And that is a similar experience. Like,
Yeah.
yes, maybe the reasons we're not sleeping well are different, but sleep deprivation has very similar effects on everyone, right?
Yeah.
And I fully understand where you're coming from. And just because I have a baby does not mean that I don't care that you're not sleeping well. Because
Right. And that I
because
don't want to
that
hear what's
is
happening for you.
yes. Yeah, and it just was such a good example of what you were just talking about is like let me just diminish myself, right? And it's the same thing that happens too I think um when we expect that well for me it's really interesting because I didn't have a baby and now I have a baby. And I remember
Just like that. There
I
was not a
remember
hell of a lot of steps in between there.
I remember being like when I when I didn't have a baby, being like my time is just as important, right? And now having a baby, I look back on that version of myself and I'm like, you were so right. Like your time was just as valuable because you didn't have a baby and you were doing all of these things. Like being a mother is a new role, yes, but in no way does it diminish the years that you weren't a mother. In no way does it diminish
Good, Ashley.
anybody who is in your orbit who is not a mother because they don't want to be or just because it hasn't happened yet and they do want to have a baby someday,
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
whatever
their
it
time
is.
is no
But
less valuable.
yeah, and I that has also been like one of the things that I just yeah, has just been a lot of like on my reflecting brain of
Yeah.
that what we do to people in that sense of like we just assume like my friend just assumed that she like her sleep deprivation wouldn't mean something to me or I wouldn't want to like help her if I could, just because she
Yeah. But
doesn't
that's, I think,
have
that programming,
yeah, exactly.
like make
Yeah.
yourself smaller.
Hmm.
See, like change your value because someone else's value, change your worth because someone
Right.
else's worth, change
Right.
yourself because of someone else's emotions about it.
Hmm. Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like here we are, Sarah Kay. Business and babies, man. And we
This
are
is the babies.
crushing it.
Something is being crushed. I think it's my spirit, but we are doing it.
Yeah.
Crushing is in fact happening. No, it is. I wouldn't have it any other way. Like everything that I'm
Hmm.
doing, who I got to, I co-founded it with Carrie, who's this incredible acupuncturist. Ashley's going to be coming on board as a virtual pelvic and sexual health coach. So if you're looking for some online virtual services, Ashley is going to be offering that up. Just a little plug there for her. But like it is, Rooted Alchemy Collective is something that I've had in my brain and I've thought about, what I can liken it to is a woman. I have never had this directional path to having a child. It has never been
Hmm.
something that I'm like, I know that is for me. It's always been
Hmm.
like, is it for me? Is it going to be for me? I don't know yet. Right.
Hmm.
And as I've gotten older, it's become more and more clear, even still in baby potential years, I'm like, it's not for me. And I know that so
Hmm.
deeply now, right? And it's a
Hmm.
very active choice to not have a child. But I know that I have journal entries about this collective from 2015. And so like
Hmm.
I can imagine the experience of a woman who wants a child having that same, who's always wanted to
Hmm.
be a mom, being able to be like, oh, in hopefully 5, 10, 15 years,
Hmm.
this is in my path, right? And
Hmm.
so I have that felt sense of like
Yeah.
knowing, holding this idea and this dream and this wondering and how's it going to be and when is it going to be and what's it going to be
Hmm.
like, you know?
Hmm.
And like that we can connect into too, right? And mine just
Hmm.
happened to take the form of a brick building and Ashley's a very cute baby, but like it really is
I
it's
mean,
it's powerful to see what we
yeah.
can through as women and actually hold each other in those dreams and
Yeah.
ideas.
Yeah. I mean, both of us now have a little piece of our heart and soul on the outside of us, is really what it is.
Hmm. I
Yeah.
love that. It's so true. Okay.
Oh, that made
As
me
we
a little bit teary.
well, we knew she'd cry. Episode 1, season 4, folks. She's hit
Oh,
it.
okay.
I
Okay.
mean, I love this. It looks
Woo.
aggressive, but it's so good. 10 of Wands.
Okay.
I love
Mhm.
this. Ah, this is so good. All you women and those who identify as women out there, listen up. I release all guilt that arises from lessening my load. I
Wow.
will say it again. I release all guilt that arises from lessening my load. Earth Mother, feel my fire. That is the same as your fire. I know my spirit, and it is okay to carry only what serves me. There is no better moment than now to learn to say no. Too often we
Hmm.
take on too much for the sake of our health and the well being of the world around us. It is important to stop and listen to our bodies. Are you stressed, feeling run down? Is your ethereal backpack nice and roomy, or is it too full? We can run ourselves into the ground easily. The pressure is real, the fatigue is real. Find your pace and love your center. Take care of your core and your spirit. Not one single thing is worth sacrificing your health and inner stability. We cannot pour our cup if we do not fill our cup first.
Hmm.
Thank yourself for arriving to this point on the path. You have carried your load with love, and now is time to love yourself.
Hmm.
Release the heavy flame. No need to fear. The same fire has always been inside you, sparking your footsteps toward inner harmony and freedom. Woo!
Yowza.
That feels
Okay.
relevant.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel lighter.
Very good.
I don't know what
Loving
needed to
that
be,
low,
I
girl.
don't need, I don't know what needed to be released, but maybe just having this conversation. I don't know, but
Yeah.
yeah.
And bringing
Hmm.
it to your point, bringing it into the world.
Yeah. Whew.
Awesome.
Okay. Wow.
Okay.
We're
Until next
back,
time,
man.
we're back,
Season
baby.
4.
Babies and
See.
businesses. Let's go.
Okay. And as always, until next time, take care of yourselves and we will see ya later.
Later.
Bye.